What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Pepper Pack Podcast. I am the Dr. Pepper teacher, Zach Bowman, and with me is my new friend, well, not my new friend, my friend and new co-host.
I'm Richard.
Who are you?
Dr. Pepper Doge.
Dr. Pepper Doge. Richard, I feel like a new season of Fansville on this episode. Like we're starting almost like a new season of the podcast with you joining us, getting our guests back lined up, ready to go. It's going to be great having everyone back together. It's been too long. But before we get started, I thought about opening our can now. But since Dario is busy tonight and I completely dropped the ball and forgot to tell Connor we were having an episode. So Connor, I apologize 23 times. It's just us. So I wanted to wait before we open our cans and do that with our guest that we have tonight. We got a great guest for those you don't know. The best guest. It's going to be awesome. But I got to show off my little... You got something cool back there that you had enough perks for. 1, 2, 23. Ah! So you got that neon light. I did not have the points for that because Dr. Pepper is expensive and they don't give us enough points. So I went with the 230 point route and got the little keychain football helmet. I know it doesn't light up as much as your awesome neon light back there. And then they had the new one is that leather jacket or Letterman jacket that we've been talking about on the podcast for years that we wish that they would give ambassadors as like a 5 or 10 year anniversary. And then we thought it'd be cool if they had patches, like the high school patches, like been in the Pepper Pack 10 years, earned this many points, like different achievements we've done. Like, you know how they have those badges on the portal? Give those badges that's actually badges that we can put on our back and stuff. That'd be awesome. But I did find an item that I've been looking for a while. So I'm going to show the box here. I'm not going to open it yet because I want you guys that are watching to be thinking, what could I possibly have talked about on the podcast that I wanted, that I've been looking for, that is Dr. Pepper related? And I'll be honest with you, I bought this summer before my daughter was born. And then it's just been so busy that it's been sitting down here in my basement. So we'll see what that is. But I'm thirsty. I have a Dr. Pepper vanilla float. And we have a great guest. So, should we bring in our great guest?
I think we should.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful guest tonight. This guest is world-renowned Dr. Pepper consumer. It has been said that she could taste Dr. Pepper a mile away. I said that, but I don't know if anyone else has. So we're going to go with it. But let's go ahead and bring out, we have Macey joining us tonight. Macey,
hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. So let me just test out my theory. Can you taste Dr. Pepper a mile away?
Yes.
Okay.
Most likely.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Whew. Didn't want to be called a liar on the first episode back for a while.
No.
So I have a can. Richard, do you got a can?
Of course.
Macey, do you have a can?
I do. Let me get in my little Dr. Pepper mini fridge and get it out.
Oh, okay. So I'll ask you about that in a minute because I got a couple of those around. So we like to count off a special way. So Macey, would you like to start us off?
Sure. 1,
2,
23. Oh, yeah.
Now, this still has a little bit of fizz. I still got that little carbonation mist coming up out of it. But my vanilla float is about 3 to 4 years old now, so it doesn't have quite the kick, but I'm still enjoying it.
Oh man, that's so good.
I just need a podcast where I just open Dr. Pepper and drink it. I've thought about doing that on our reels on Facebook and just crack it open, drink it, smile, end the video.
Yep.
All right. Well, Macey, I'm so glad you're on the podcast. So let me ask you my typical first question that I like to ask all our ambassadors. So in order to be an ambassador for Dr. Pepper, you have to be a true fan that it's not just something, oh yeah, I kind of like it. So how did your love of Dr. Pepper start? And as that continued, how did you like find out about the pepper pack?
Okay. Well, I don't remember like a specific age of when my love of Dr. Pepper started. However, when I think about my journey of drinking Dr. Pepper, I would have to say it started with my grandmother. She had a pop fridge or a soda fridge that was downstairs in her basement, and it was stocked with all kinds of pop. And I just remember her specifically having Dr. Pepper there for me and for my cousin Becca. So that's where my memory comes from when I think about like when that journey started. It was just going downstairs and just seeing it in that fridge and just drinking it anytime she would babysit me or I was at her house visiting for holidays and things like that. So as far as joining the Pepper Pack, it was when I moved here to Louisville from my hometown in Pennsylvania. I started to get in my content creation journey. And I was like, I love Dr. Pepper. Like, I'm known as the Dr. Pepper girly. That's how my family knows me and my friends, and even just people online now that I've connected with. Like, I'm the Dr. Pepper girl. And I started just Googling. Like, I was like, how do I work with Dr. Pepper? Because that is like a dream collaboration for me. And randomly, the form to fill out the Pepper Pack came up. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Or I saw it on Twitter because I think they put something on Twitter too about it. And I remember them following me and I was freaking out. And then when I saw that, I just applied and I was like, here goes nothing, like I definitely need this, but I'm not sure if I'll get it. But then I got the letter on July 30th, 2018, that I got accepted and I sobbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we were discussing before. So you and Richard share a Pepper Pack birthday.
yes,
So
that is
that's
correct.
awesome. I remember I was donating blood at the Red Cross, and I was going online to redeem my receipts to get the Pick Your Pepper shirt.
Yes.
And I saw this thing about the Pepper Pack, and I was like, "What is that?" And I clicked on it, and they said, "We're looking for our 23 biggest fans." And I was like, "Done." Do you know who I am? And so I applied in probably like April or May of 2017 and didn't hear anything back for like 4 months. And then as I was telling you earlier, it was September 11th. I was talking to my fourth graders about 9/11 and the terrorist attack and where I was. I remember I was a seventh grader. My teacher came sliding into the room screaming, "America's under attack." And my phone buzzes as I'm telling my students this. And I look down and it says, "You have an email from Dr. Pepper." And I go, "What?" And I click on it. It says, "We've accepted you in the Pepper Pack." And I go, "Yes!" And they're all like emotionally like, America was attacked. People are attacking us. And now my teacher's screaming, "What's going on?" And so then I had to explain the whole Pepper Pack thing to them. And they thought I was crazy, but I loved it.
So Zach had said something about like kind of the timing between when he had applied and when he got accepted. So I'm curious because I applied in February and then it wasn't until July that I got accepted. So I'm wondering, do you happen to remember what month you sent your application and about how long that took, I guess?
I would have to say like end of February, probably March. It was a couple months because I didn't get my like welcome package and my birthday package because my birthday is October 27th. So I got my Pepper Pack package and then just a few weeks later I got the birthday one. And I remember thinking like, oh man, like I have to make this announcement. Like I need to get like a legit post with my shirt and my Dr. Pepper. So I went to the pumpkin patch as like an October baby. And I still have the picture up on my page now, but I'm just laying in pumpkins and I'm just holding like the birthday Dr. Pepper can and wore the shirt. So yeah, that was my big announcement then. So I would say a few months. Yeah.
So thankfully you have a fall birthday because I have an August birthday. So I was one of the first that got it. And I felt so bad for the June and July people that had to sit there and watch people all the way through and wait till theirs was coming. because when I did my collab with Dr. Pepper and they flew me down to Texas to shave the logo in my hair for the football thing,
Oh,
I
cool.
talked to him. I said, "Hey, do you guys have enough of those for everybody in the pepper pack? Otherwise, I had something I want to share." They're like, no, we made sure we had enough for everybody that was in it when we started it. I was like, okay, now I don't feel so bad because I was gonna say that would just be awful if they didn't get that.
Yeah.
So another thing we'd like to know is, what is your preferred, I'm gonna say version of Dr. Pepper and not flavor, because Dr. Pepper, we all know, has 23 flavors, but they have different versions. They have the
Yes.
vanilla float, they have the
Yep.
regular, and then I'm gonna get on my soapbox like I do every episode. And if you say OG, to me that means the real sugar, because that is the original gangster. The OG Dr. Pepper with real sugar.
Okay.
And then there's regular Dr. Pepper. There's berries and cream, fantastic chocolate.
You look right up
Richard the Birth.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
Richard,
flavors.
like anything in my flavor shelf is over there. I have all my different flavors, but can't really see them. So what's your like? And obviously, my preferred, if anyone knows me, is vanilla float. I love that stuff, but I can't get it readily anymore. So I've been doing a lot of zero sugar regular Dr. Pepper right now.
Yeah.
So you can maybe say, what do you usually drink, but what's the one that's like this is the top?
Classic.
Okay, she's like the classic. Don't mess with it. Now,
I'm the classic. That's my favorite. I also do enjoy the zero sugar. I was very, very surprised with how much I enjoy the zero sugar.
I've had several people tell me they can't stand the aftertaste of it, but I think zero sugar tastes more like Dr. Pepper than Diet does.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I've been
Yeah, I do too. I think it has that same classic taste. It's just a little, not as sweet.
Yeah, I shared on here that I got hit with the pre-diabetes wake up call in January, and so I switched to zero sugar Dr. Pepper. My blood sugar dropped down a lot, and I lost like 30 pounds. So I was like, okay, I guess I can keep drinking zero sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. That happened to, not that, but I actually had my first cavity when I was 29, and they told me I had to stop drinking Dr. Pepper. So that was a big change for me to go from classic to the zero sugar. So I get it.
See, that's where I would have misinterpreted what they said and added a as much at the end of the stop drinking Dr. Pepper and just live that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's funny because my wife's a
ahead.
dental hygienist, and she's always telling me, you're gonna get cavities, and I'm like, my teeth I already got cavities. It's okay. And I think so. I got to think how old I am now. I'm 36, I believe. I don't remember. And my wife's like 4 years younger than me. So I think she either got her first cavity like last year, or her dentist she works with says there's a soft spot to her watching it. And so she's like, I got my first cavity. It was freaking out. So when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, I understand your pain because I know what she was going through there.
Yep.
So now that we know your favorite version of Dr. Pepper, and since it went classic, I feel like you have a much broader area to answer the follow-up question, which is, what is your preferred way of consuming classic Dr. Pepper? And by preferred way, I mean, like, do you prefer it from the can, the bottle, whether plastic or glass, fountain drink, or even in a non-beverage format, like their jelly beans, cotton candy, directly through
ice cream,
an IV drip going in?
Yeah.
I would prefer the IV drip for sure. So I have two ways. Obviously, I do love a good ice cold crisp can. Now I'm going to be very specific here. I love a good fountain, but it has to be from certain restaurants. So my top 3 restaurants for that are Texas Roadhouse has the best. I was so excited when they added it to their list of sodas. And then the other one is Olive Garden has the best one, or like Darden restaurant. And then the third is Wingstop's fountain is phenomenal.
So we have a Wingstop here in Wichita, but I've never been. We go to Texas Roadhouse often, and that's good. And my wife likes Olive Garden, so I can hit all of those. But I worked, my first job was I was a busboy at a restaurant, and it was a steakhouse, and they said they had Dr. Pepper, but when I would go back behind, it was Pib Extra. And so this is where, like, I know I call it the blue soda and red soda. Don't mind naming an imposter. I just don't like naming competitors, because at least they're wanting to be like Dr. Pepper. They're just not as good.
Yeah.
So they would, if you said Dr. Pepper, they would just fill up Pib Extra. But I mean, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near as close.
Oh,
I mean, it's
I
definitely.
don't disagree at all. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I had the choice between the other one that should not be named, I would choose the Pib over that. So
Yeah. And so my whole point in that conversation, though, was I wonder if, like, Texas Roadhouse and those other ones, if they truly are selling Dr. Pepper, or if they're, because like I said, I was in a steakhouse and they said it was Dr. Pepper, but it wasn't. So that's where, like, if it's not a fountain drink that I'm filling up myself, I'm a little cautious. And too many times I've got a drink to go, like, through the drive-thru, and they hand me it, and I take a drink and it's the wrong drink, and I'm like, I got to drive home with this cup in my hand, and it's just 23 reasons why I'm angry at this restaurant now.
That's a good point. Although I will say, we'll let the facts show that since Macey can smell a Dr. Pepper a mile away, if she says Roadhouse and Olive Garden serve Dr. Pepper, I think we can take her word for it.
All right.
It is. And also, Texas Roadhouse made a big deal about it when they brought it to Texas Roadhouse, because I remember seeing that post and I was, yes, like I was so excited. Because they used to give you Pib. But yeah, they then said added into the rotation Dr. Pepper.
I mean, with Texas in the name of the restaurant,
right, yeah, they'd be doing.
It was shocking how long they went without Dr. Pepper.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So, Richard and I, we have a passion. Some people call it a problem. Okay. I like to use the word passion. We love having as many different Dr. Pepper items as we can, displaying them. I am OCD, so I'm liking Richard's setup a little better than mine, because I just have everything crowded in here, and his is all nice and lined up and color coordinated. My shelves, if you came and looked, I have a shelf that has all the movie cans. I have a shelf with all my international Dr. Pepper cans.
Oh, awesome.
Some more movie cans, glass bottles, different flavors, and just all the way back. But we want to know, do you have a Dr. Pepper collection, or do you like to collect anything Dr. Pepper related?
Yes. So I am actually, you can't see here, but I have a gallery wall going on. I'm into thrifting and collecting vintage pieces and stuff. So I've been on the hunt to have some vintage Dr. Pepper lines to add to my gallery wall. So I went to the Highway 127 yard sale this summer. And I was looking, and I was at like this fairground, and I stumbled upon this guy who had vintage Dr. Pepper frames. So I have this one. I took them down so I could show you guys, because I knew you would like them. So I got the one for the Good for Life slogan. And then I have this one. That's another one. The really exciting thing, though, that I found was Dr. Pepper hammock. So right now it's in storage that I didn't get it out, but I do have it. And I saw that and was very excited. Yeah. And then I got these vintage I'm a Pepper shorts from a reseller. So those
are so now this just goes back into, we need to get the Pepper Pack all together in Texas. Dr. Pepper needs to, or somewhere central, and we need to recreate that ad, because I have it memorized, because when we did our original episode of the podcast to just get people together, I probably listened to that 100 times to type up the lyrics, because there's nowhere online that has the lyrics to the I'm a Pepper song. And so I listened to it over, and now my daughter knows that song because I listened to it so much. So when she hears it, she's like, I'm a Pepper, he's a Pepper, she's a Pepper, we're a Pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a Pepper too? And it's like, yes, raised to right.
Yes. That's awesome.
And still on the same topic of the collections, you were sharing with us, you got some pretty sweet swag from Dr. Pepper recently.
Yes,
Would
I
you care to
did.
share that with everybody?
Oh, I would love to. So I'm getting married in July. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Probably like 5 years even before I was engaged, I saw that Dr. Pepper sponsored someone's wedding. So I just kept pestering them. I was like, hey, like whenever I get engaged, like I want you at my wedding, like please come to my wedding and sponsor. And they're like, oh, message us when you get engaged. So fast forward to last June, I got engaged and I told them, and they like liked it and said congratulations, whatever. And then I got like a message like a few months after, and they were like, hey, like we would love to send you something to celebrate your wedding. And they said, can we have your address? And I said, sure. So I sent it to them. So they made me this customized Dr. Pepper bottle with me and my fiance's Jason's name. And we didn't have the wedding date at the time. So it just says 2025, but it's July 2025. And they also sent me this jacket, which I'll take it off and show. That way it's just easier. But they sent me this cool custom made jacket that says Dr. Pepper with the retro flowers on it, which is like
That's
my
awesome.
vibe. So it was just, just really sweet of them to do that and to take the time. And they wrote like a really sweet note congratulating us. And I cried. I cried
Now,
and
did they send your fiance a matching jacket?
They didn't. That would be so cool if they did, but I will be having like our photo. So I didn't want to wear this until our wedding, but then I figured the podcast was a special occasion to wear it.
Well, we're honored. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. So I'm planning on having like a full blown like photo shoot, either this in my dress, or we already had engagement pictures, but we're doing another one here in November. And I'm going to see if my photographer friend would be willing to just take a couple shots of us with the jacket and Dr. Pepper. And I'm trying really hard. I kind of want to save this, like, how people save their wine bottles and stuff. But I also want to kind of crack it open on the day of, like,
Let me give you some advice.
Okay.
Because for the podcast, I have one that they sent me as well. It's right here with my name and face on it and a little message on it.
Aww.
And like all my plastic bottles, in time, they always start to shrink and suck in and distort. So I would encourage you, enjoy the memory. Take a picture, drink it, and then save the bottle and label.
Yeah, just empty.
Because otherwise it will, because this one is starting to shrink in. The ones I have for Vansville starting to shrink in. All my cans are actually empty because over time they do like leak out and spray everywhere. So I've had to empty all my cans. And then I feel so bad about all the Dr. Pepper I've wasted because I didn't drink it. So I would encourage you to just drink it during your wedding or at your wedding and have a fun photo doing that. And then save the
I was
bottle.
thinking too, you know how people do like the champagne towers? I would maybe was even considering like taking this and doing this and dumping it with that too. Even
and
so,
and you're down.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper will be at the wedding regardless. Like whether the Dr. Pepper will sponsor it or not, there will be Dr. Pepper there regardless. So yeah, that'll be the drink of choice.
So you'll have to find my wife on social media and apologize to her for me because she picked our wedding date.
Okay.
And my wife and I got married on October 24th. No, sorry, October 25th. I got the wrong date. I'm terrible. I'm already fired. Which is the day after Dr. Pepper Day, which is October 24th. So she's always like, you celebrate Dr. Pepper Day more than you do our wedding. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Because when like her and I are going to be going to a Brandon Lake concert here in Wichita on our anniversary, celebrate our 10-year anniversary this year. And
congratulations.
Thank you. She hasn't killed me yet, so it's good. But so we're going to be celebrating that. But with Dr. Pepper Day being the day before, I'm always doing podcast stuff for Dr. Pepper Day. And she's like, we need to do something other than Dr. Pepper. But it was great because for my groomsmen cake, getting married on 10/25 of 2014. My cake maker from my church, she did like a 10/25/14, and then the 10, the 2, and the 4 were different colors, like the old school Dr. Pepper 10/2/4.
Yeah.
I think I had a picture in here. I don't know if it's still. Oh yeah, actually I do, right here. So that was my
Nice.
groomsmen. So
Oh
I guess they
my
weren't
God.
number letters, but
That's so cute. I love that.
so that also helps you always remember what year I got married, because that's the one thing I struggle with, and I'm like, I know there's a 4 in it. It's 14.
I just have to say, I think it's amazing that we have 3 random Dr. Pepper ambassadors from all parts of the country, and we all somehow had Dr. Pepper incorporated into our wedding. Like you've got your fancy bottle that's got your names and rings on it, which I think is an amazing gift design. Like that's going to be a great memory for photos and stuff. And Zach had his cool cake. The only thing we had was like I still have a couple of them left over, but Dublin Dr. Pepper bottles back before they shut down. We had gotten a few. I guess it was 2012 when that happened, and we got married in 2013. But we had empty Dublin Dr. Pepper bottles on every table, kind of like the
Like the
centerpiece.
centerpiece.
We had 2 full Dublin Dr. Pepper bottles that, right before we cut the cake, we like interlocked arms and drank from each other's bottles.
Oh, I love that.
That's
so cute.
You're welcome to use that idea too.
I might. I will. I'm keeping notes.
And then keeping on the same theme. So our friend Daria, who's unable to join us tonight, got married, I think, last year, right, Richard?
That sounds right.
They actually sent him a gift as well. They sent him a bobblehead of him and his wife, all like Dr. Peppered up, like as Dr. Pepper bobbleheads. And I think that's so cool.
That's
so you have to find him on social media, and he's got a picture of that post in some way.
I would love to see it. I will find him.
Now, talking about collecting and all the different things we have, I teased earlier that I bought something this summer that I've been looking for. And eBay actually reminded me to review this purchase. And I'm like, I haven't even opened it. So like, it's been 3 months. How did you like your product? Did it match? So I'm sitting here going, if I open this and it doesn't even match, you better believe after this episode, I'm getting on eBay and telling them. But for those that don't know, I love soccer. And I've been playing since I was like 5. I coach. My team is doing awesome. We suffered a loss yesterday, but I'm so proud of my guys. They were working so hard. It's a junior high team, so 6th, 7th, 8th graders, and we are playing a homeschool team that, not to talk bad about them, but their rules are different, and so they can have freshmen playing down as long as their birthday's before a certain date or whatever. And so 5 of these guys were like taller than me and just like stacked. And they had sideburns coming down into beards, playing against my little 6th graders who are like 10, 11. And we ran with them. We lost 2-1, but they scored on corner kicks. But I love soccer. So I've always been looking for like Dr. Pepper soccer stuff. And I've seen this Dr. Pepper soccer ball online. I finally found one. And they said they had the original box and paperwork that came with it. And I was like, oh. So I've been watching it for years. And so I finally get a chance to open this up.
Oh, I'm honored to be here while you open this. This is so exciting.
And so they got a little tape across here. I'm going to cut that because I don't want it to rip the box up any. Oh,
what year is it from?
That I got to double check. I don't remember. I just know that it's really old.
And I didn't even think about a soccer ball being Dr. Pepper themed. Like my son loves taking the soccer ball around. It's like, oh man, this would have been cool. I never would have even thought.
I think they should make some.
That's amazing.
So I call him the original ambassador, Kyle Dunn. We had an episode with him a while back. I think the video was having issues, so Josh and I might have just used the audio. But from everything I've researched and done, he, I think, was the first original ambassador that they added to the Pepper Pack. And I actually got to meet him at the Fansville pit stop in Oklahoma when he drove down from Indiana. And so we met up and then we all got dinner together. But he and one of his friends got to participate in the Pick Your Pepper when they had ambassadors go design the different bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had the bottle that he had, which is a soccer style one, and I had him sign the label. And so I have that up on my wall now. But I would love to see more Dr. Pepper stuff, like with the World Cup coming to America in a few years. I'm like, please, Dr. Pepper, my dream is to go to a World Cup game.
Yes,
Send me as an ambassador. Send me as an ambassador to go promote Dr. Pepper and just enjoy soccer. I would love that so much.
Yeah.
So
I don't even have to pay. Like, just give me a trip. I'll go.
Oh no. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, so it's still in plastic. I'm doing my best to open. Ah! I got it. Quick hands as I break things. So yeah, this still has a plastic around it. It doesn't. It's got a few marks on it, but doesn't really look like it's been kicked. Definitely vintage NASL. So I think that stands for North America Soccer League. Is like way predating the MLS. I'll definitely do some research and figure out the time. Is from Jaguar Company, made in India. No, so keep that plastic. Oh man, they were serious. This is all the original package. A Ziploc bag. It's got the needle in it.
Wow.
Paperwork.
Yeah, I was gonna say you weren't wrong about it being vintage. Just looking at the logo, it gives you a good idea of when it was.
Okay, so using my logo timeline over here, this is a logo from 1958. Cool. Or no, hold on. No, not 19. So this is 1979. The 58 was above the logo. It's the 79.
Oh, the 70s.
So probably late 70s, early 80s. It says, Dear Dr. Pepper consumer, the Dr. Pepper company hopes you enjoy your soccer ball. There are some things you should know on the care and use of this ball. First of all, it is a 32 panel, opposite of 23, so that works. All-weather ball with rubber bladder inside. I think you very much like the pros use. However, even the game ball used by the pros will not stand up to the use of concrete or asphalt. The best balls are designed to be used on grass or artificial turf or even dirt, but not on the streets or hard surface playgrounds. I'll skip all that rumble jumble. Yeah, so the rest of this letter is all about just like common care for use for a soccer ball and how to inflate it and deflate it. So I'm not going to bore you guys all with reading that. But it does say soccer ball offer P.O. Box 29223 Dallas, Texas 75229. Thank you very much for your order and even more importantly, your Dr. Pepper business. Sincerely, Nancy Allen, Sales Promotion Coordinator. Man, there's a telephone number on here that I want to call. But y'all got any more of these? Because this is awesome.
So I've got two things immediately to say about that. One, yeah, that is definitely an amazing item you found. And two, I'm glad it is exactly what you're hoping for because you're well past the eBay return window.
Well past.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I had seen these as just the ball alone for probably $60 to $80. And I think I got this for like $40 with the original box and everything. So I was like, all right, that's a deal.
Good deal.
Yeah, you got a 50% off.
Oh yeah. And it's vintage.
And it's vintage, that's right.
All right, now I want to show off another thing, and then I'm done showing off my stuff. As this podcast, we got to have our 1 year anniversary in the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco. They invited Josh and I out there. So we recorded an episode there and we got to do a tour. And so we love the people at the Dr. Pepper Museum. And right now they are doing a fundraiser promotion where you can sponsor a brick and then they will engrave it and put it in their courtyard. So for an 8x8 brick, I feel like it was like $350 or something like that. And I didn't have that kind of money after just having my second child and being a teacher. But myself and some other Kansas Pepper Pack ambassadors reached out to each other and we're like, hey, let's all go in on one of these and split the cost. So I played with some different wording and design. And I have the commemorative one. I have a picture that I'll post later on the stuff. but it starts off hashtag Pepper Pack. And then we call ourselves the Kansas 23. Even though there's more than
Aw.
23 of us, we're the
Yeah.
23 flavors of Dr. Pepper. And it's got Andrea M, Zach B, Sam B, Zach G, Sammy Y, Danny M, and Nimrod K. So those are the Wichita area Kansas Pepper Pack ambassadors that I've kind of created a group that I want to get us all together for like a big Dr. Pepper party. But so this brick is supposed to be laid soon at the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco. So if anybody goes to Waco and finds my brick, I would love to see a picture of it, see you drinking Dr. Pepper by it.
Yes.
But I also encourage anybody that would like to. They are still taking more orders. So check out the Dr. Pepper Museum website and look for that brick custom design. And that way you could have your name and family, what is it, immortalized? Not immortalized. I don't know the word I'm looking for. But remember there as part of the museum.
Yeah, next time I'm there, I'll definitely be looking for your brick.
I appreciate
Yes.
that.
I've never been.
Okay.
So
well,
it's on my bucket list.
I had never been until they invited us out to the museum. And they were so hospitable and kind. And I was going crazy because they have different experiences that you can pay to do. And one of them is called the Extreme Pepper Experience, where they give you a private tour with their top curator, who made me look like a fool of my Dr. Pepper knowledge. And Josh thoroughly enjoyed that part. But they have 4 vaults that are closed to the public. One of them has all their media and advertise, like film, photography stuff, that's closed to the public. They don't want anybody to go in there and see it because they don't want the light and air to deteriorate it. And then they have 2 other vaults that are filled with advertisement memorabilia. They will take you through those and show you things, but you're not allowed to touch at anything. And I went with my wife and Josh and his wife and kids. And so we went through pretty fast, but I could spend all day and they're just looking because there's stuff I had never seen before I even knew existed.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me take any pictures because for security reasons, they didn't want people to know what they had and how they kept it. And I was like, I get that, but I want to be able to look for this stuff online, and I'm never going to see it again. And
you just had to look with your eyes.
It was awful. And so we always joke they wanted to Hannibal Lecter me and straitjacket, tie me to a dolly and wheel me through there. My wife was always rolling her eyes, and Josh like rolling his eyes, and like, all right, Zach, go away. But it was definitely something worth doing. I was very thankful for that opportunity, and I encourage anyone, if you haven't been, if you're gonna be in the Texas area or the Waco area, go check it out. And the thing that helped my wife agree to go on this trip with me is she loves Chip and Joanna Gaines with a makeover show. I can't even think of what they're called right now. I'm terrible. But they have the silos literally like half a mile across the street from the museum. So we were able to go to the silos and hit up those little shops. And so that way she had something to do on the trip as well.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Do you know how long they're doing the thing for?
The brick?
Yeah.
I do not. I have not seen a date of how long they're planning on it running. But I would assume until they run out of bricks. I'm sure they would always.
Are you getting the idea of adding a brick to your wedding registry?
Yes, I am. I am. That because I don't know if I'll be able to, like, I don't know how long the promotion's going for.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I travel, I've still have never been to the state of Texas. Anyway, so I definitely like that is on my bucket list. Like I want to go to the museum really, really bad. And I kind of want to do the whole brick experience while I'm there, too. So it's like, do I want to add the brick for the registry or do I want to physically be there and do it that way? But I don't want to miss that window either. So
okay. So I could tell you, they don't actually make the brick there. It's a company that makes and engraves the brick, and then they'll like I ordered this probably a month or 2 ago, and I paid extra to get the little commemorative little one, so that way I could have it here in my collection. And like I said, they're gonna email me when it's late, and it still hasn't. So if you're gonna do it, so you can see your brick, make sure you do it ahead of time and give them a chance to put it in. But I don't think it's something they do right there in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you might be able to talk them into it, like, hey, I'm coming. I can help promote you all. Do a little content creation collaboration and make it happen.
That would be a dream.
I'll be a lot of jealous, but it's okay.
You can
Okay,
come.
one other
You guys can come.
one other reason to go to the museum is if there were any flavors, or sorry, if there were any versions or variations of Dr. Pepper that you liked or didn't get to try, they make a couple of them still on tap, like the dark berry and the berries and cream.
Mhm.
Okay.
So when they had done the quick little re-release of berries and cream, yeah, this one here that was just limited to Pepper Perks people, like 2,000 of them. I ended up driving out there just so that way I could try berries and cream again because they'll still make it on tap. But
Yeah.
just another great reason to go. I've been 2 times so far, and those will not be my last times.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta add it to the list.
Oh yes, you're gonna have a long list after the show.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the show where Dario usually kicks in and is eating cookies because he's the cookie monster on those cookies. It says, we all love Dr. Pepper and we love food. Is there a go-to food that you like to pair with your Dr. Pepper that, like, whenever you're drinking, it's like, I like these chips, I like this snack? Is there?
I would say wings for sure.
Wings.
Yeah.
Okay, what sauce do you have on your wings? Or are you just plain?
I'm a garlic parm person or a ranch, like ranch seasoning, dry rub. Yeah, dry rub. But definitely garlic parm. Like when I go to Wing, I get their garlic parm wings, and then their tub of ranch, and then their fountain Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that.
See, I'm like such a child. I'm like, give me the honey barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
People always tell me I eat like a kid. I'm like, I eat like a kid because I act like a kid.
Yeah,
I feel like Peter Pan. I never grew up.
I haven't either.
It's a great thing being a pepper. You just never grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So outside of eating things with Dr. Pepper, is there anything you make with Dr. Pepper? Like if you cook or create drinks or whatnot, like is there anything that you mix up with Dr. Pepper or anything like that?
The one time I cooked with Dr. Pepper, actually, I think I made 2 things. I think I made a cake with Dr. Pepper once, and then the other thing was I did a venison roast in the crock pot with the Dr. Pepper, and it was really good.
A venison roast does sound really good. Like the closest I've gotten to that would have just been a regular old pot roast and just stewing it in Dr. Pepper. But venison,
yeah,
that sounds like it'd be
it takes out the gamey taste of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So my 2 things that I've done or people have done, I've done Dr. Pepper ribs in the crock pot, and I really like those. And then this summer I had my principal over. He had smoked some ribs in some Dr. Pepper. He soaked them in Dr. Pepper and did the glaze stuff, and they were really good. So I was like, we need to do that again sometime.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
And then also you could add Dr. Pepper to brownies.
Yes,
and that makes it really good. And have you had I don't know, I think you said you're in Georgia area?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm Kentucky.
Kentucky, sorry. I knew it was a southern state. I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah.
Do they have the Bluebell vanilla or Bluebell ice cream down there? The Dr. Pepper float Bluebell?
Yes, they do. I haven't tried it yet though.
Ooh, I would highly encourage you to. It's actually a sherbet, so it doesn't lose the flavor of the Dr. Pepper. Because usually when you freeze Dr. Pepper, it gets that kind of icy, crystally kind of. But it's because it's a sherbet, the way they did it, it's so good. And then making floats with that. And because you're in that area, I got to ask. I know vanilla float is strictly to that area. There's people like Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia. Do you have vanilla float around your area?
I haven't seen it. I'm like I said, I'm kind of more just a classic person, so I don't really like look for it. So there's a chance we do have it. I just haven't really paid attention to see if we had it. But I will definitely look, and I can let
Yeah,
you
do
know.
me a favor, because I'm down to my last 2 cans, and if I buy it on Amazon, it's $25 a 12-pack plus shipping.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, I can't do that. I want to, but I can't do it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a new supplier to help me get my vanilla float.
I will see if I can find it, and I will let you know.
All right. Now, you mentioned to us that you do some collab stuff. Is there any ways, or how do you like to help promote Dr. Pepper as an ambassador in either your business or just your daily life?
How I would like to promote it. I mean, I talk about it all the time. If Dr. Pepper posts something, I'm 100% sharing it all the time. People send me memes that talk about how much you love Dr. Pepper and how Dr. Pepper people are a certain type of person, like a certain type of person. So I just talk about it all the time. When I go places, I get it all the time. Like people are just like, oh, you're going to get a Dr. Pepper. Actually, before I came on here, kind of to just promote the podcast and promote Dr. Pepper, I had people just guess, like, I'm going on a podcast tonight talking about my favorite thing in the world. What do you think it is? And so I'm getting all people's responses, and most of them are saying Dr. Pepper. So
who would have guessed?
To do a drawing and see who gets the PR pack, and of course Dr. Pepper will be included in it.
I want the PR pack.
That's just proof that you're doing the ambassadoring correctly. Because if someone sees Dr. Pepper and they immediately think of you, you're doing the job right. So if Dr. Pepper watches this,
what I want.
It's proof right there.
I actually do have a funny thing. When I was in high school, we did the mock crash scenario thing to keep kids from drinking and driving.
Yeah.
And I was the girl who got into the accident that a drunk driver hit. And they asked me, like, there's a video of this somewhere online, and I pray that it doesn't get out to people because
new challenge. If anyone finds this video, I'll send you Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, it's kind of cringe, but at the same time, it was just me as a person and still is me. But they were like offering me a drink, and I just had my Dr. Pepper bottle, and I was like, no thanks, I got my Dr. Pepper. So that was me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome because like I how old am I? I said 36. I don't remember. I've never drank alcohol. I've no desire. I just drink a lot of Dr. Pepper. And so, like, I was in a car accident when I was in high school. I got hit by what is suspected to be a drunk driver.
Wow.
And after I got out of the hospital and went back to my car at the junkyard, we opened my door and there's a couple cans on the floor, and I had cans in my trunk. And I was like, "Yep, this is my car."
Yep,
so when you said that, I was like, "Oh, I get that."
Yeah, my fiance makes fun of me because, like, if I have a rough day at work or just a rough day in general, I'll like crack one open like someone cracking a beer. He's like, "That's your vice." I was like, "It is."
Now, your fiance, does he like Dr. Pepper?
He doesn't.
They're working on the conversion, huh?
We'll pray for him.
We're gonna have to go to marriage counseling
23 times a day. No, actually, here, let me put it this way to you. Because when my wife and I got married, she did not like bacon. And everyone's like, you married someone that doesn't like bacon? Because I love bacon. But I was like, look at it this way. I don't have to share my bacon with her. And when we go to like church events and they're like, hey, everyone get 3 pieces of bacon, she can grab 3 pieces of bacon and I get that as well. So that's actually not a bad thing because then you don't have to worry about him drinking your Dr. Pepper and you running out and then causing marriage fights. Like, you drank the last Dr. Pepper.
Nope, all mine.
And so yeah, that's almost like a blessing right there. The Lord's like, I got you. I'm gonna make sure you have plenty of Dr. Pepper. No one's gonna drink it.
Yeah, he fully supports though my love of Dr. Pepper. Like, I'm his Pepper Pack princess, so he gets it.
We need a new shirt for the podcast. We got Macey sitting here like this, with cans behind her. The Pepper Pack princess.
Yep. Put me on the throne.
At the very beginning, I'm pretty sure you had to have practiced. Like when you presented it all Vanna White style with your classic Dr. Pepper, I was like, that would have been the perfect logo. Like, we'll just get a freeze frame of that, put it on a shirt, and call it good.
Yes, I love it. Dr. Pepper, if you're listening, let's make this happen.
Mm-hmm. I know. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they ignore me. But sometimes I
Yeah.
mean most of the time.
They listen. They know you.
Mhm.
They love you.
We probably
Yeah,
No,
I
yeah, go
did
ahead.
get sidetracked though. The
Mhm.
collaboration idea. I would love to do like a cool retro like scene of all, like even have the Pepper Pack ambassadors like go somewhere and shoot this concept of just like, you know, a retro vibe with the Dr. Pepper in a bottle and the I'm a
Mhm.
Pepper shorts, or you know, just
Mhm.
like do a really cool scene with that. Or I would love a Dr. Pepper brand trip for the ambassadors, because brands do that now.
Please.
That would be insane. Just all of us go somewhere and they host us. And
Yeah, so that was kind of like my idea that I had. If we had like an unlimited budget, I would love to
yeah,
fly all the ambassadors to Waco and do like a
yes,
23-day kind of like Marvel what do they do? The Stark Expo. But do a Dr. Pepper Expo, and you have
yeah,
23 different rooms for 23 different experiences. And the Pepper Pack ambassadors could be one of those experiences for people to come, and we could talk about, and they can meet us, and we
yeah.
could just experience Dr. Pepper. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I think it'd be great. I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just grabbed a strawberry and cream. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm still just the classic person.
Well, no, and I don't disagree with that at all. I just didn't know. Did you ever drink the strawberry and cream? What did you think about it?
I tried it. I thought it was a little too sweet,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I just like
I
classic. I do like cherry zero sugar though. I do like that one, but I don't like the regular cherry.
think the regular cherry is too strong. There's just a ton of cherry flavor in that. I can't taste the Dr. Pepper.
I mean, it makes sense since Dr. Pepper by itself is already known as a cherry-based soda
Yes.
already. So then you just say extra cherry at that point. But
Mhm.
I will say, Zach, like that's your second Dr. Pepper already. That's two.
No, remember I pre-gamed.
Oh,
I
that's
pre-gamed.
right. That's
I
right.
had a
Okay.
zero sugar before,
Mm,
and I'm actually doing slow. I usually do about 5 an episode, so
Yeah. So see,
wow.
it's getting late.
so that makes me wonder though, what would be, and actually I'll direct this to you, Macey, because I think I remember Zach's answer to this.
Mhm.
Zach obviously can drink a lot of Dr. Pepper, but what is the inverse of that for you? Like, what's the longest you've ever gone without drinking a Dr. Pepper, if you happen to know?
117 days.
Wow. Is that something you'd be willing to share the reason why, or you just want to leave it classified? Or
Sure. No, I can. It goes back to me getting my first cavity at the dentist.
Mm.
Like I said, I was 29 years old, and the dentist told me I had a cavity, and I started panicking because I didn't know what that situation was like. And he was like, you have to stop drinking soda. Like, you have to stop. And he's like, you're gonna get, like, kind of just like your wife, Zach. She's like, you're gonna get cavities. And so because that happened and just the whole cavity experience, it scared me. And so I went on this just like cold turkey. Like, I was like, I'm done. I downloaded an app on my phone called Days Since, and I wrote no Dr. Pepper, and I like kept track of it every day. And then if you broke it, you had to physically like press that reset button. And so as after you make it so far, you didn't want to press it. And yeah, so then I went through a hard time. I lost my uncle, and we were having like funeral stuff, and it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what, I just need a Dr. Pepper for Uncle John. So I had a Dr. Pepper, and it broke the streak. But I'll be honest, you know, since turning 30 and everything, like, I've been trying to drink more water. I hate water. I hate the taste of water. I have to have flavor in every water.
There is no taste to water. It's just water.
No. Well, yeah, but I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like water either. Like, as a soccer coach,
yeah.
I'm out here drinking water with my players, and I'm like, I just wish this was Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So I kind of went on a little health thing with it. So I actually like got a lot of it. I finished everything, got it out of my house, and then I would just now, and even now, I kind of still just drink it for not special occasions, but also when I like go out to eat, or if I go to fast food, or I'll get it then. But I kind of don't keep it in my fridge anymore. However, I did stock up for the podcast, of course.
So when
yeah,
you said 117 days, I originally my mind immediately went to the movie like the 107 hours
yes,
or 127 hours or whatever that was. And so and then I went because Richard and I both play video games and we play Halo.
I was hoping you'd say that.
So I was thinking Spartan 117, and I was like, did you do a collaboration with Xbox and Microsoft for Halo 3, and you didn't drink Dr. Pepper for 117 days for Spartan 117?
No, it was just one of those things where I was like, I just have to see, and I did. And I was keeping like my friends on social media and followers, like I was keeping up with the journey. And like when I would hit the milestones, they're like, cannot believe this. Like, how are you doing? Like, how are you alive right now? So yeah.
So to go along with this question, I'm going to share a little bit of my story for people that have been listening. You guys have heard this before, so just indulge me. I obviously drink a lot of Dr. Pepper. My church was doing a 40-day fast one year when I was in college. And my dad's like, I would tell you to fast Dr. Pepper, but I know you can't. And like after my car accident and everything, I hate when people say I can't do stuff. Like I heard the doctors always tell me you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, nope, God healed me. I can do it. Don't tell me what I can't do. And so I cold turkey went 40 days without Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
And then my buddy texted me. He's like, hey, we're playing Pong. Bring over a 24 pack. And so since I don't drink, I took over a 24 pack of Dr. Pepper.
Right.
And drank the whole thing there. And I had 3 cans when I was at work that day. So my personal record of counting that I've drank in a day is 27 cans.
Wow.
So
That's
do you
very
have?
impressive.
Thank you. I want a badge. I need that jacket that they sold out of in real fast time on the Perk store. But
The Letterman one.
Oh yes, we've been talking about that. Like we want one for ambassadors.
Yeah, that would be sick. I would love
but
one.
What is, or do you know what's the most you drank back when you were drinking? Because you've shared with us that you're not drinking it as much anymore. That you remember drinking in like a day.
Makes me sound like I have a problem.
You're in a safe space. We don't have a problem. We have what did I call it? A passion.
Oh no. Oh, there you are. I was gonna say I just froze.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 6. Like when I was younger, like at my grandma's house, I would just drink them when she would babysit me. She would babysit me like a whole school day.
So Richard and I have a special honor. We get to be all the ambassadors' friend that they talk about to their friends. So when your friends say, oh, you have a problem, like, oh no, you should meet my friends Zach and Richard.
Perfect.
And because like with what I drink, or when they say that, oh, you have a ton of Dr. Pepper stuff. Well, look at my friends Zach and Richard, because we get told that often. Because Richard, like I told you, I did 1,038 in 2018, and so was it 2021, Richard, that you counted?
No, it was 2022 because it was the year Darkberry came out.
Yeah, so he went on a mission to keep track of every ounce of Dr. Pepper that he drank, and his goal was to drink a literal ton. Because people ask us, how much do you drink a year? And we're always like, we drink a ton. Like, it's a lot. So he wanted to see if he drank a literal ton. And on average, how many did you have a day?
I pulled up the stats here. And to preface, like, I would always answer the question, like people would ask, how many do you drink a day? And I was like, I don't know. And I would always just throw out like a 12-pack or whatnot. But I actually wanted to know. I wanted to have definitive evidence. And like for that whole year, I would take a picture every time I started drinking a new can or bottle or fountain drink. And after like
he
the 20
labeled
or 30th
it, numbered
one,
it, and everything.
I would put a Sharpie on it to like show proof that it wasn't the same can over and over. And I got this cool chart and everything up. And the average cans per day for that year was 7.57 cans a day, which put me at 2,754 cans for the year, which came out to, where's the volume? It's weird to put this in terms of pounds because it's fluid ounces and whatnot, but it was 2,065 pounds. So I drank literally a ton of Dr. Pepper.
Wow, that's so impressive. You need a badge for that one.
I know.
Sure.
So that's why I said, if your friends say you have a problem, Richard and I will be happy to be the guy that you say, well, you should see these people, and then you don't have a problem anymore. Then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well, at
they
least you're not
literally
like them.
drink a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard, I'm impressed with your data collection there because I'm a behavior analyst, so we do a lot of data collection. So I was wondering if you were a behavior analyst to keep track of all of that.
Yeah, I did, and I can send it later, but I've got the page where I put like all the stats. I even have like one of those heat map date
It's got a
calendar
pie
looking
chart.
things
It's
with all the
awesome.
different stats. Broke it
Wow.
down
What do
by
you
flavor
do?
and stuff.
Do
So
you
what?
do stuff with numbers? Is your career like stuff with numbers or?
No, I've just always enjoyed numbers. Like math came to me really quick, quicker than any of the other subjects in school. So I just kind of stuck with it. And then like I also love Excel. So Excel and math and numbers, like it just went well together.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I teach fifth grade
Really
math, so I just like math.
As long as you can
I'm
count to
terrible at
23,
math.
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can count to 23, so we're good. But I hate math. I was a reading kid. I loved reading.
Yeah, reading didn't do anything for me. So
Sorry.
I'm gonna promote a local business right now.
Okay.
For those of you who know, like we have a dirty soda shop in town called Just a Sip, where they make the different dirty sodas. And I didn't know what a dirty soda was. I always thought it was a drink with alcohol, and so I was like, I'm not gonna ever get there. But all it is your soda with the different syrup flavors.
Okay.
And so Just a Sip, they just announced that they're gonna be looking for brand ambassadors, and they had people apply, and I'm like, do you see me?
Yeah.
This is what I do. But
Yeah.
I won a tumbler from them last year where I got free drinks
cool.
for the year, and it ends
Wow.
in December this year. But I'm like, I would totally be an ambassador for you. And they're opening a new store close to me where my house is tomorrow. So they're giving out free drinks from 12 to 7. And this episode is going to air after that day, so no one's going to know. But I know. And then you guys can go get drinks anyway. But one of my favorite things that they have there is, since I can't get the creamy coconut Dr. Pepper anymore, they do have a coconut creamer that they will mix in the Dr. Pepper to make it a dirty soda.
Okay.
And then they also have a cupcake flavor that I have had them put in my Dr. Pepper that does taste a lot like the icing on the cake, birthday cake Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
So for any ambassadors that didn't get that, if you have a dirty soda shop around you, see if they have the cupcake syrup to put in there. And then they also just got this like chocolate truffle. So when they put that in there, it tasted a lot like the Fantastic Chocolate Dr. Pepper. So I'm like, all right, I can start recreating these limited edition flavors.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that.
That's cool. That's awesome. You're getting something like that.
Well, I work a lot. And then my soccer team, after our games and we win, we all go in there and help promote it. I actually have a video on our YouTube. They let me go in before they opened up their ice cream soda shop on the east side of town, and I got to do different floats with Dr. Pepper to see which ice creams tasted good, and that was a lot of fun. But I said all that to ask, and I think I know the answer because you said you just like the OG. But have you ever gone to a soda shop where they mix flavors, and would you be willing to?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would be willing to. I've never done it, but I'd be willing to try. I've seen a lot of TikToks of people getting like a Dr. Pepper and putting lemon and lime in it, or just the spritz of lime in it. So I would be intrigued to try that for sure.
No, so I hate lemon lime stuff. And to just save you, Richard, I think it was Connor that was with us when we did this. Connor and Dario. Or no, maybe it was just me and Dario. But we tested out that Dr. Pepper and pickles. It was awful. I absolutely can't stand pickles. I hate pickles with a passion. You should, again, that video's out on YouTube. I'll post links to that later. But it was, it's not worth it. But I before we started it, I said, we have to decide now, are we going to drink everything in this cup because we don't want to waste our Dr. Pepper? And we said yes. So I made sure I drank all my Dr. Pepper, and it was no
I
bueno.
couldn't do it. I could not do it. I hate pickles so much.
Pickles are
I'm
just
the same way with
strong.
coconut. I hate coconut too, but I really enjoyed the creamy coconut. Like, it was surprising how good it was.
Yeah, I did try that one.
What did you think about it?
I wasn't a fan of that one.
See, I enjoyed the buttery kind of aftertaste that it
I
gave
hate
the Dr.
talking
Pepper.
bad about it, but I just
No,
I
you're
didn't
you're being
like
honest.
it.
That's all right.
Yeah, you're allowed to have your opinions as long as your opinion is not I don't like Dr. Pepper. And then we'll be
No, I
fine.
love
You know?
I love you, Dr. Pepper. I just didn't. I don't like the. I don't know. I'm just a classic OG. I probably would like the OG one too. Let's be for real here with the real
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah, thank you.
Is that the
Okay, so
bottle? That's the bottle kind, right?
it's
The
either the
bottle, but they
glass
also have
bottle
this
or
can.
Yes.
the green
Yes.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I've had the bottle kind.
I do have a question that I forgot to give you ahead of time.
Okay.
But as you were mentioning things, it sparked that memory. What is your favorite like classic Dr. Pepper slogan, ad, spokesperson? Like, you have the Good for Life, the 1024, the Frosty Pepper, the Old Doc, the Ama Pepper. There's just so many. Like, I have them all around my room, so I'm looking around to help me remember what they are. But like, it's like
Yeah.
I love the Ama Pepper,
Yes.
and the 1024 is just it's so
Classic.
like it's hard for me to pick. So I was
Yeah.
like, what are like some of your go-to, like when you see it, you're like, that's
Okay, so from the retro point, obviously the I'm the Pepper, because that was I think 1977, 76.
I'm looking at my wall.
It
And
was
they
from the
actually don't.
70s, I know that.
Yeah,
But
the
if I had to
70s.
pick, yeah, okay. If I had to pick one, that would be like my life slogan. It's definitely good for life. Because I just feel like that's like my motto. Like everyone's like, oh, you drink too much of it, or it's not good for you. And I'm like, it's good for my life. Like, it makes me happy.
So
I
they
always
have
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. Back in 1913, they used to call it Liquid Sunshine because they
Oh,
said
I
the
love
23
that.
flavors of Dr. Pepper were deprived from plant and fruit and vegetable flavors. And so the sun, I have a book somewhere that talks about it, talks about how the sun and photosynthesis use the energy. And so those flavors are in Dr. Pepper, so it's good for life. It's liquid sunshine. And I was like, that's so awesome.
I love
But
that.
I
I didn't know
also,
that was a slogan.
oh yeah, I'll send you pictures of that one there. But one of my favorites is my little blanket right here, the lion, the Vim Vigor Vitality, the king of
Oh, cool.
beverages.
Nice. That's a cool one. Yeah. The good for life one, like I said, I think that just applies. But what's really funny is all my friends would send me that sweet little elderly lady
Yes.
who says that she lives to be 103. Did she pass or she?
I don't remember. I think she
Okay.
probably has. But my favorite thing,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying mad because I have about twice a year people send me that same link. Have you seen this? Have
Yep.
you seen this?
Same.
And you
Yep.
mentioned earlier that all your friends. I was like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the beware of false prophets, and it's all the fake Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
And then it's the if you drink Dr. Pepper before 8 a.m., you have something wrong with you. And I go, yes, I'm thirsty.
Yes.
So actually in our Discord that you just recently joined, so any Pepper Pack ambassadors, join our Discord. It's awesome. It's basically the Pepper Pack app we've been asking for. But I've created a bunch of new Dr. Pepper memes, so you should go out there and check them out. I think they're pretty funny because I made them, but
I will love
I just
that.
have fun. But yeah, I get those all the time of people saying, "Oh, hey, I saw this and thought of you." I don't know if you've seen it. I'm like, "Yep, 82 times, no big deal."
I love it.
And it just makes me so happy. I like Dr. Pepper. But
Yes.
thinking back to your time in the Pepper Pack, because we already kind of talked about like if Dr. Pepper came to you with a campaign, how would you promote it? And you talked about the the retro shoot and recreating ads. I think that's awesome. What have been like 2 or 3 highlights of your time in the Pepper Pack? Things we've done, things that you've got to do, things that Dr. Pepper's done for you.
Yeah.
And obviously, we know that being on the podcast is just up there, but you don't have to. You're not obligated to say that.
Okay. Honestly, the whole experience has just been wonderful because I've been able to connect with people who love Dr. Pepper as much as I do. Like, I've gotten to connect with some really awesome people, like you guys on the podcast, of course. But also, I really love when we did the gift exchange for Christmas. And I actually still talk to the girl who sent me my gift, Sophie. She also just got engaged, so shout out, Sophie. Congrats on your
What's up,
engagement.
Sophie? Sophie, I don't think we've had you on the podcast yet. We should get you on sometime.
Yeah, you should. She'd be a great guest. But yeah, she just got engaged, and what did she do? The first thing, she cracked open a Dr. Pepper. So, she just gets it. But I just loved that. And it was so nice because it was like you got assigned someone and you sent them something based off like their likes or what they filled the form they filled out, I think. And I would love to do something like that again.
Yeah. I think it just helps build the community. And
It does.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I really enjoyed not only that Dr. Pepper did that, but Dr. Pepper already had like a contingency plan for the few of us. I might have been the only one. I don't know. I hope I was the only one that had this happen.
There were others
that didn't. I had sent something to someone, so that was great. But the person that was supposed to send to me, they were never able to actually send. Like something happened. I don't know the details. I just never was able to receive something, which I was like, oh, that's fine. And then I forget how it came about in conversation with Dr. Pepper, but they ended up sending something on behalf. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, that was nice of them. That's cool. I'm sorry you didn't get a gift.
Oh, it's fine. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me and hopefully no one else. So I'm cool with it. I just drink a Dr. Pepper. So
I'll have to send you something.
Those vintage frames.
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. Zach, I know you want it for your collection, but I can't.
No, it's all right.
I can't do it.
I'm still running out of room. I told my wife, well, next time we move, we need a bigger basement because I am running out of space to put all my stuff. Because that was our deal. I get to decorate the basement however I want, and she gets the rest of the house. So
yep, we
I will
also
say, I
have
think
that.
one of the gifts that I know Zach will not ever say no to would be receipts that have Dr. Pepper purchases on them.
Get those perks. Oh yes, I'm glad you brought that up. We talked about that before the show, right? We haven't talked about it on the show. This conversation, they just happened and I forget. So for those of you watching, if you haven't, you can redeem your receipts at the Dr. Pepper or rewards.drpepper.me or something like that. I don't remember the website, but you can find it online. Use those points and to redeem Dr. Pepper stuff. And they have right now they have the jacket that's already sold out. They have the keychain. I think that's sold out. And I was just like, I do like that they actually have like a free 12-pack now. The coupons for the free 12-pack, other things. But I hope they continue to restock that. But I just wish they had a bigger surplus of items.
Yeah.
Because this is my soapbox that I get on every episode. Rich already knows what's coming. I can't stand when people get that stuff and then go on eBay and resell it for outrageous amounts of money.
No, it's messed up.
I have no ambassadors in the Pepper Pack who I will not allow on the show because I've seen them and I've called them out because their username matches their Facebook name that is in the group. Selling their birthday cake pack of Dr. Pepper for $300 to $500 on eBay. Selling their welcome box on eBay. And I'm like, no, that's not what they're for. And they tell me, well, money's tight. I'm like, I get that. So sell it to another ambassador for a realistic price, not price gouging online. So
yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's messed up.
Breaks my heart and my wallet.
Breaks my heart too. Yeah, I still have my shirt. It's in storage, but I have it. Saved it.
Yeah, I will say I would be interested to see where the mathing comes into play for the point values in the store. Like my first thought is like, if you've ever looked at toilet paper rolls and they've got the mega roll and the other super roll and all the different rolls, like 12 rolls is 1 mega. but then you can never find any two that like actually equal each other. Like
Mhm.
that was my thought because like Zach, you got the little keychain thing for like
Yeah.
230 points, and
Yeah,
then the huge jacket is
was
the same
23.
price as 10 of those keychains. So in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm like, I wonder where
How they
they
distinguish
how they come
what's
up
worth
with it.
what.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, Dr. Pepper, our suggestion is Pepper Pack ambassadors should get double points when we redeem receipts
I
because
love it.
you're
Here for that.
welcome. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're doing the job. We're advertising.
Yep. But yeah, that still breaks my heart. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It's been great chatting with you, Macey. Richard, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
If
me.
you guys want, you can check out our Pepper Pack Redbubble store. Connor has made a lot of awesome designs, like this Jesus Loves Dr. Pepper. I said that one time on an episode, and it was
I
around
love
Easter
that.
time. And so we got it on shirts. You can get pictures on phone cases. The awesome thing about the Redbubble store is we have several different styles and logos, and you can get them printed on t-shirts, sweatshirts, phone cases, computer cases, coasters, about anything, and they custom print them and ship them to you, and it's really great quality. And then that helps the podcast out because although we are ambassadors, the podcast is not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, and so we're fronting all the costs and doing all that fun stuff. So anyone that wants to support us, we appreciate that. If you would also help us out, if you're still listening, thank you for sticking with us. Like, follow, share on all our social medias. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have a Twitch channel. We call it Vim, Vigor, and Video Games. But because
Cool.
I'm a dad of two and coaching soccer and teaching, we haven't been on recently. So Richard, we got to get back on that sometime. But as I always like to say, stay safe, stay caffeinated, be a pepper, and until we drink again, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, add y'all back.